This weekend we looked at Acts chapter 2 and we studied the power that we have for the mission that Jesus left us as followers of him, that we should share this life-changing message of freedom that we have in Jesus Christ, that we should share it with our friends, our family members, people around us, and that this really is our biggest mission. It doesn't matter what you do for a job. It doesn't matter what church you go to. If you're a follower of Jesus, this is your mission. And isn't it easy to think that our mission in life is other than this? Isn't it easy to prioritize other things over this? Tonight when I was putting my kids to bed, I found myself praying this prayer for them. I prayed over AJ, laid my hand on him, and I prayed, God, help him to do something that matters in this life. You know, I know a lot of parents want their kids to grow up and be very successful in sports or in careers or academically or whatever. And of course I want those things for my kid. But in the light of Acts chapter 2, I couldn't help but pray, God, let him do something that really matters in this life. It kind of reminds me of 1 Corinthians 9. The Apostle Paul wrote this letter to the Corinthians, kind of a messed up church and didn't really have the right perspective on a lot of things. And so he had to remind them of these sorts of things. In verse 24, he says, do you not know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? And I love what he says next. He says, run in such a way as to get the prize. Now, if you look at the context, he's talking about sharing the gospel. He says in verse 22, to the weak I became weak, to win the weak. I've become all things to all people so that by all possible means I might save some. See, he's saying, this is my mission, and that's why I'm going to try to speak it in their language. I want them to understand it. He says, I do all this for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in its blessings. And so again, back to 24, he says, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. You know, in my own life, I think, am I running for the prize? Am I doing something that matters with my life? Or am I getting caught up in my career? Am I getting caught up in how much money I make? Am I getting caught up in keeping up with the Joneses next door? Man, I hope this is your prayer. This is certainly my prayer. I want to do something that matters. I don't just pray that for my kid, that he does something that really matters in this life, but I want to pray that for myself, that God, help me to do something that matters. Help me to give my money to things that matter. And what matters more than sharing this life-changing message of Jesus Christ with those who have never heard it? This is our mission, and this is what we should be doing. If you're a follower of Jesus, you should take this seriously. I encourage you to close your prayer time and just pray this, God, give me your vision for the things that really matter.